The year is 1888. The streets of London are shrouded in a thick, eerie fog, casting an ominous shadow over the city. The place Whitechapel, a poverty-stricken district in London's East End. Here, the air is thick with despair, and the streets are teeming with the struggles of everyday life. A climate of fear grips the cobblestone streets. The fog seems to swallow the light, leaving only shadows and uncertainty. A shadowy figure, known only as Jack the Ripper, stalks the night. His presence is a constant, terrifying whisper in the dark. He preys upon the area's most vulnerable women working as prostitutes. These women, already living on the edge, now face an even greater threat. The name Jack the Ripper itself originates from a letter sent to the police during the height of the murders. This letter, filled with taunts and gruesome details, sent waves of panic through the community. This letter, claiming to be from the killer, sparked a media frenzy. Newspapers across the city and beyond were filled with lurid headlines and sensational stories. The Whitechapel murders became a national obsession, with every newspaper printing lurid details and speculation. The public's morbid curiosity only fueled the hysteria. The Ripper case stands as a chilling reminder of the dark side of Victorian England. It exposed the underbelly of a society that prided itself on progress and civility. The stark contrast between the wealth of the upper classes and the abject poverty of areas like Whitechapel provided a breeding ground for crime and despair. It was a world where the shadows held secrets and the fog concealed horrors. The Whitechapel murders, as they came to be known, were shocking in their brutality. The streets of Victorian London were already a place of mystery and danger, but these crimes brought a new level of fear to the foggy alleyways. 5 women, Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes and Mary Jane Kelly, are generally considered to be the Ripper's canonical victims. Each of these women had their own story, their own life, cut tragically short by a faceless terror. These women met their end in a horrifyingly similar fashion. The eerie streets of Whitechapel became the backdrop for a series of gruesome murders that would haunt the city for years to come. The victims were all subjected to a level of savagery that shocked even the most hardened police officers. The brutality of the murders was unprecedented, leaving the community in a state of shock and disbelief. Their throats were slashed and their bodies were mutilated in a way that suggested a disturbing level of anatomical knowledge. The precision of the cuts indicated that the killer had some understanding of human anatomy, adding another layer of horror to the crimes. The Ripper's crimes weren't just acts of violence, they were calculated displays of terror. Each murder seemed to be meticulously planned, with the killer taking great care to avoid detection. The precision of the mutilations, often performed quickly and in public spaces, pointed to a chilling level of planning and audacity. The killer's ability to strike and vanish without a trace left the entire city in a state of perpetual fear, wondering when and where he would strike next. The Metropolitan Police, facing immense public pressure to catch the killer, launched a massive investigation. The methods employed were rudimentary by today's standards. Detectives relied heavily on eyewitness accounts, which were often unreliable or contradictory. Forensic science was in its infancy, but investigators did collect evidence like bloodstains and footprints. However, their efforts to analyze this evidence were hampered by the limited technology of the time. Despite interviewing hundreds of suspects, no conclusive evidence ever emerged. Section 4. The Suspects, a cast of characters. Over the years, more than 100 individuals have been proposed as potential suspects in the Jack the Ripper case. The list includes butchers, doctors, and even members of the royal family. Some of the more prominent suspects include Montague John Druitt, a barrister who committed suicide shortly after the final canonical murder, Walter Sickert, a painter with a fascination with the macabre, and Aaron Kosminski, a Polish immigrant who suffered from mental illness. Section 5. An enduring enigma. Despite decades of investigation and countless theories, the identity of Jack the Ripper remains a mystery. The infamous serial killer who terrorized the streets of London in the late 1800s has never been conclusively identified, leaving a trail of unanswered questions and endless speculation. The passage of time has only served to make it more unlikely that the truth will ever be definitively known. As years turn into decades, the hope of uncovering new evidence diminishes and the case grows colder with each passing day. The mystery of Jack the Ripper continues to fascinate people worldwide. From amateur sleuths to professional historians, the allure of solving one of history's greatest whodunits captivates the imagination. The case has inspired countless books, films, and documentaries. Each new piece of media adds another layer to the legend, ensuring that Jack the Ripper remains a prominent figure in popular culture. Perhaps it is the combination of historical setting, unsolved crimes, and the enduring allure of the unknown that keeps us captivated. The foggy streets of Victorian London provide a haunting backdrop that continues to intrigue and terrify. Whatever the reason, Jack the Ripper remains a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the shadows of even the most civilized societies. His story is a stark reminder that some mysteries may never be solved and some shadows never fully illuminated.